together. We change the world.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Theo here with a Should You Pull tier list for the month of September. This tier list is just my opinion and is not a measure of character strength. Team building is the core of this game and we can make any unit work when properly set up. If you have a favorite character, always go for them. First up, we have a raid event featuring a new BT and FR for Queen. Queen is a support character and her FR comes with the following conditions. Use a melee ability and a transform Brave or HP attack for a huge plus 100% HP damage bonus per turn. This FR also comes with a 50% cap up bonus when using a transform Brave and HP attack. Despite having these huge numbers, not many characters can utilize this FR to its maximum potential, and it also doesn't interact very well with Echo and BT finishers. Most of the time, we'll want to use this as Echo instead. Her BT plays even further to this playstyle by providing a bonus 50% cap up when using a Transform Brave HP attack or an AX ability. For her pros and cons, from her armor and BT effect alone, she can provide up to 95% HP damage limit up for EX and Brave HP spammers. She also has a party-wide last stand effect from her LD buff, providing the party with safety net against strong AoE attacks. Queen has two stances during a fight, a neutral one where you can use all her base abilities as well as FR and BT, and a Rasetsu arousal stance where she is locked to only using her Brave and HP attack. While in Rasetsu, Queen is immune to KO. This stance switching can be awkward to pilot if we are not already familiar with her kit, and it's especially important to understand her stances during force time because she cannot use FR or FR Echo while in Rasetsu arousal stance. She has one con, in that her gimmick is niche and very restrictive. She works only with a handful of characters, and ultimately this con is big enough to push her into the safe skip tier. This is not to say that Queen is weak. She's exceptionally powerful for players that have the roster to build around her, but for most players, her flavor of team building is just too big of a weakness. Next up, we have a Lost Chapter featuring a brand new character from FF5, Kelger. Kelger is an often damage dealer with the following FR conditions. Plus 5% when using a melee ability, with Kelger himself getting plus 10%, and this includes often attacks. Then we get plus 50% whenever Kelger evades an attack. This FR comes with a bonus 20% cap up, as well as slowing Kelger down while it's active. It's quite good as primary FR, especially in melee teams. With his BT, Kelger's preemptive attack is triggered twice. Pros and cons. He has very high often damage, generating up to 3 attacks per enemy turn, from his preemptive strikes and counterattack. He has Locke and evasion, all tied to his buffs, making him a very independent and easy to set up unit. But a word of warning, despite having tank-like qualities to his kit, Kelger is not actually a tank. He has no party damage mitigation and no healing. His allies can be easily killed in a fight with heavy AoE damage, so we'll need to bring supplemental healing and protection, or we can just run Kelger solo. Kelger falls into the Theo approved tier. Much like Rubicante before him, Kelger is a godly solo unit. He is also an exceptional pick if you are planning to do red color for weekly crystal quest. Next is the Leviathan Spiritus event featuring a new BT and FR for Lenna. Lenna is a healer and support character with the following FR conditions. Be at full health and have no debuffs when turn ends for plus 75% HP damage bonus per turn. It's a decent generic FR if you have nothing else better to use. Her BT unlocks a follow-up attack for Lenna as well as allowing overheals for the party. For her pros and cons, Lenna is a support with surprisingly high damage, with potential to outdamage even some DPS character. She has party debuff evasion and also very potent healing effect because of her HP up buff and overhealing. But ultimately, healing and overheals are just not very relevant in current landscape. We can usually mitigate damage in other ways that are just as reliable. Also do note that some of her attacks, most notably her LD and Transform HP attack, do not have Brave hits attached to them. These attacks do not interact with FR conditions that requires things like critical hit or elemental damage. Take extra care when pairing Lenna because we do not want to waste FR damage bonus. Lenna's tier placement is in the You Decide tier. Support is quite a competitive role and we have quite a lot of new choices every month. Decide your pools based on your roster. If you're lacking a support with debuff evasion, Lenna can be a great pick. Next event features Golbez. He's a dark damage dealer with the following FR conditions. Deal weakness brave damage and use a dark ability for plus 75% HP damage bonus per turn. This FR comes with dark enchant as well as 50% cap up, making it a good primary FR. His BT comes with a Brave Freeze effect that prevents enemy from gaining Brave. Golbez is quite a strong damage dealer with a self 100% cap up effect. The bulk of his damage comes from EX and LD, making him more suitable for a non-BT phase team. Freeze is always a welcome effect because it's one of the strongest defensive tools that we have. That said, I have to put Golbez in safe skip. Freeze can be easily applied from calls, and that leaves Golbez as a pure damage dealer with no other utility. His damage can be fantastic, but I tend to rate pure damage dealer lower, hence his placement in safe skip. For the next two events, we have an Intersecting Wheels and a Raid. Both of these events feature unknown characters, but based on JP timeline, I'm making a guess that this will be Enna Kros Intersecting Wheels and Strago's Raid event. This is not 100% confirmed, so I will be making a separate video if it ends up being a different character. Starting with Enna, her FR stays exactly the same. Use a Holy and Dark ability and deal HP damage exceeding our max Brave for a total of plus 80% HP damage bonus per turn. This FR comes with a bonus 50% cap up when used as primary. The last condition might sound complicated, but all of Enna's FR conditions are very easy to satisfy, making it one of the strongest generic FR that we have. Enna's BT provides the party with both Holy and Dark Enchant, and a unique effect of rounding up the last 5 digits of HP damage. For example, 205k will be rounded up to 300k, but at the same time 295k is also rounded up to 300k. So this rounding effect can be very strong or just straight up trash, depending on your character's current HP damage limit. For her pros and cons, she has very high damage ceiling from using her Omega God attacks, especially her EX and LD. And I forgot to put it in the slides, but she also has enemy turn deletion from her EX and FR abilities. Her FR is one of the strongest in the game, and this alone can justify her placement in a team. But I'm most excited for her BT effect. This rounding effect is a dream for min-maxers, but it does require a bit of prep work before starting a fight. Her BT phase can be quite strong, but we will need a bit of luck for that 20% chance of maxing her EX gauge. I place Enna in the Theo approved tier. Strong FR, strong BT and high damage. Enna is just an amazing third slot unit. Then in the same event, we have Noel with his brand new FR with the following conditions. Use a melee ability and inflict break for plus 80% HP damage bonus per turn. When used as primary, it comes with a side bonus of cancelling a target's break status before the attack lands, as well as 50% cap up, making it a great primary FR in melee teams. His BT is buffed to now fully charge his EX every turn. Noel has high single target damage from spamming EX. He also has small delay utility from his many break and re-breaks. The cool thing about Noel is that his FR opens up a lot of combo possibilities, most notably an infinite combo with Core when fighting against at least 2 enemies. He also combos very well with Dorgan, allowing him to change a lot of image slashes when set up properly. These combos are all possible without even investing in his BT. This budget combo shenanigan places Noel in the You Decide tier. When played normally, Noel can dish out reasonable damage, but he can also be played in funny ways by abusing the break reset effect from his FR. I would highly recommend at least pulling for Noel's FR if you have units like Core and Dorgan. Next character in this list is Strago. He's an AoE damage dealer that comes with an updated FR with the following conditions. Use a magic ability and break or attack a broken target for plus 60% HP damage bonus per turn or plus 80% total if it is Strago's turn. It comes with 50% cap up when used as primary. But I will only use this as primary if we are planning to enter Strago's BT phase. Otherwise, it's better to use this as echo. Strago's new BT grants him an extra cast on top of his dual cast, so we now get to watch Strago's animation 3 times every single turn. Strago's rework is simple and very effective, making him a very reliable AoE damage dealer. His kit also has tiny utility in form of defense ignore, break reset and guaranteed breaks. But for all intents and purposes, Strago can be treated as pure damage dealer. So using the same logic with Golbez, I unfortunately have to put him in the safe skip tier. Both Strago and Golbez have very high damage, but realistically that is all that they offer. If your roster is lacking AoE damage, then either one of them will serve you well. Finally, Locke. Locke gets a brand new FR with the following conditions. Use a melee ability and have an active special buff or overhead for plus 80% HP damage bonus per turn. This FR also comes with 50% cap up, making it a solid choice for melee team. His BT is the same as before, allowing all party members to ignore defense while providing a Brave Floor effect and an emergency heal to 50% HP if it ever drops below. Locke has high single target damage from his unique Genji Glove and Master Scroll HP attack, with possibly the highest HP damage count to date at 16 dumps. His BT provides useful defensive utilities and his FR is quite generic and powerful, but all in all, I would put Locke in the safe skip tier. His utilities are not unique enough to warrant a full investment, and generic FR are just getting more and more common as we progress. Now for my pool plans of the batch. I'll be spending gems only on Enna Kros BT banner this month, hoping to score both her BT as well as Noel's FR. And that's it for the tier list. What is your pool plan for the month? Let me know in the comments. And if there's anything you disagree with, let me know as well. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!